All right, boys, let's put this thing together.
All right.
Let's get her done.
All right, back to the skid. Shocks are fully installed. I've replaced the bearings in these wheels. These don't need it. The rest are all getting changed. Important point I wanted to bring up about weight transfer. So your extra 10, you have these multiple sets of holes, and the upper or more forward holes are tighter coupled. And this is looser. And so I learned this on Hot Donna. Hot Donna wasn't hooking up. It wasn't getting weight transfer because it was in that upper, more forward hole. I switched it down, weight transferred. It was a good thing. So you could see, since I had it apart, I took the opportunity to ratchet strap this back and get the blocks lined up real nice. Give me the most weight transfer I can without losing those blocks. All right, another tip for you on the skid. So these two bolts in the back axle, if there's one thing that we've had trouble with, it's those bolts falling out. And this was a patch bolt. That's a new patch bolt right there. And the part number for those is 7517731. I don't know where else to get the patch bolts, but you know, every 2 or 3 times you take out that bolt, put a new patch bolt in so you don't lose a back wheel. It's happened to me plenty of times when I didn't change the patch bolt. All right, there it is. Completed extra 10. So I feel pretty good about it. Everything took grease. All the bearings are new except for these two, which are just fine. And the shocks are rebuilt. And I have set up the coupling to my liking, meaning more weight transfer on the rear. So good to go. There we go. That actually started to catch. All right.
I'm going to go drink about it.
This is going to suck.
Let's come over there and give you a hand. Oh, yeah, that one.
All right. Just going to have to hand tighten the dang thing.
You still on the top bolt?
Yeah.
Well, it's got the bottom bolt in, that's why. Oh, that was so tough. I took this thing apart in 45 minutes, Lonnie. You were here.
I wasn't, no.
Yeah, you were here that night.
No, he stopped in that night.
I
claim innocence.
Ignorance.
Oh, that's right, ignorance.
Hey, Lonnie.
I claim ignorance.
There's some guy that keeps asking, where's Lonnie? Can you turn the camera around?
Hey, look at that. There's Lonnie.
There's Lonnie.
No.
Yeah.
All right, well, we did it to ourselves again. We had the drive shaft in, and then we started putting in the jack shaft, and we remembered that nut is impossible to get to, or darn close. Lonnie says he could do it. You can do it, Lonnie?
I have done it before.
All right. I can't do it. So I dropped the drive shaft back out so I can reach up there and get the nut on the back side of this, because it is just difficult to get. And it's kind of snugged. These other two are loose, so we can still move this around, because this is a spherical bearing, of course, and we got to get it lined up with the chain case. But yeah, there's your every project reminder. Don't forget to get that started before you put your drive shaft in. All right, so here's what's going on. We got this hose, which conveniently blocks this bolt. We got it out somehow, but
they had a bolt in there.
They had a bolt, but it wasn't the carriage bolt. Let me help Brad. Oh, all right. Luckily, that's been drained, but I want to put a carriage bolt back in.
I got it.
You got it? Well, let's see if it fits this time. Does it fit past that?
Oh,
well,
nice.
Look at that. So you got to take the hose off to put the carriage bolt in.
Well, you got to pull the motor to take the hose off.
Serviceability.
It's crazy. There's some stuff to pulling the chain case out of this sled, apparently.
We need enough
Is
for
that carriage in the hole?
I'll get some nuts and some more carriage bolts. It'll be
I need
fine.
one for this side over here.
All right, progress. This is progress. Chain case is in with the bolts tightened, and things are tightened up on that side. And, well, Lonnie helped me jam the skid in there.
Looks like a skid in there.
We're only 4 bolts away from done with tonight.
There you go, buddy.
We'll see if we get there.
You gotta wait.
Strap out.
All right, final bolts going in. So we did take the springs loose and wing them out to the back.
I'm in.
Hold on, let me get mine started.
And then that makes it real easy to get that back axle lined up.
Send her home. You see that though?
You guys catch that? I'm going to run the old slides in the dirt on these rusty clips and shine everything up. And then I'm going to put the new slides on. So, you know, right before snow season, I'll put the new slides on.
Grab her bolt on the wheel. Got it.
Good enough.
That's something we would have forgot.
Yep, but those are patch bolts. I talked about it earlier.
I know, but they don't do no good when they're loose.
They do.
They still have.
They that's why you have the patch. Then they don't fall all the way out. They're just loose. It's like a nylock, but it's a bolt. What do you mean?
There's so much gap in the front of that track.
Well, there's no weight.
There's no.
There's no weight on it. That's why.
It's got to get rotated under
The
power.
whole suspension's way up. The motor's
I know,
out.
I'm talking
Seats
here.
off.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's no weight on it.
It's all on the back idlers right now.
Yeah, when we build up the rest of the
Yeah, I
sled.
suppose it starts dropping.
We got 200
The front looks
200
like it's up
pounds.
a mile right now.
We dropping it, Dennis?
We're dropping her.
Update on the reverse. That ain't happening. It doesn't fit. There is no way that cover goes on with the gear on. I can't even get it on without. I mean, I had the seal in there and it just peels the seal off. It's just the fact that these trailing arms are that far in. You can't run a mechanical reverse on these, at least not without cutting up or bending up your belly pan. And, well, I'm not going to do that. So, I'll get that post back off. All right, chain case is back together as a standard non-reverse chain case. So there we go. Everything went together per normal. I double-checked gear alignment. That's all good. Everything's happy in there. So moving on to the next item. All right, with the chain case buttoned up, it's time to turn our attention to the brakes. So it's become a standard procedure here at the speed shop to pop the piston out of the caliper and clean all the grunge from behind the piston seal. And, you know, we'll top up the master with fresh fluid, bleed it all through, and these pads, I got new pads. I'm a little amazed. The fluid that's dripping out is clean. Been a while since I seen that on a project. It's a good sign. Yeah, those pads are beyond wasted. Not a tiny bit of friction material left. So we'll throw those in the recycle bin. And, oh, gee darn. Did I spill brake fluid all over that headlight blackout piece? What a tragedy. No, not really. Should really throw it in a wood chipper. All right, so I just got one of those old pads with the rag over it in there. Only need one just to stop the piston. And then it's just a little, I had to wipe that off before I shoved it in there. Just a little air hose action. And the piston should come right out. And there it went. Did you hear how gentle that was? Clunk. All right, I'll get it the rest of the way out now. Yeah, the piston's fine. But, yeah, that was probably a good idea to take that out. So there's a rubber seal. I'll show you. We're going to pick that out, and then we'll get this all cleaned up. All right, that rubber seal's out, and it's a square seal. It's got a goofy little twist in it. You can still get these new from Polaris, so I think I'll be replacing that. All right, new seal's in. I will lube that up with brake fluid before I put the piston back in. That's obviously the old damage seal. And then if you got to know, 2200466 is the part number if you need one of those. All right, it's all back together and everything's oriented right. How are you sure it's oriented right, Nutter? Well, remember, I took a video. So there you go. You can see how the line comes out. You can see which way this protrusion is, and you can see which end is open on that pad holder. So that video covers it all. All right, so after you get your caliper all bolted in, make sure the caliper wiggles nice. There's these little thin stainless steel shims in here. They normally need to be bent a lot more. They come way underbent typically. Oh, look, great, I'm bleeding. The other thing is, make sure that you can see when I'm doing that, these are moving free too. And don't cut yourself on the stainless steel shim. So there you go. And on to bleeding. First look in the master cylinder, and relatively good news. Fluid's clean. Somebody's cleaned this thing out in the recent past. The black stuff you see in there is just residue of paint that's still stuck. So why mess with it? So I'll get to bleeding. Hopefully y'all know how to bleed. All right, brakes are bled. Can actually audibly hear that they're releasing, and yep, definitely releasing. Pads are loose. Rotor turns. So good to go. If you do this and your pads are tight, your rotor's tight, you did something wrong. Should always release like that.
One night before, I'm putting it down, it's taking more than one
Used
night.
to be.
We would have been done by now if we were taking
Used
it
to
apart.
been.
Yes, putting it together takes longer than it takes to take it apart. It always does. But, hey, big stuff done tonight, right?
Yeah, good.
Hard stuff is done.
Enough. Farley, your tail.
Come here.
Farley, your tail is
Thank
a
you.
lot. All right. So, anyways, thanks for watching. Hit subscribe if you haven't yet. Want to thank our sponsors. Run the sponsor reel here. Nutter Speed Shop is sponsored by Metro Performance Fuels. Please give Adam a call for all your performance fuel and race fuel needs. He is based out of the same building as Minnesota Motorsports, near Wyoming, Minnesota. Nutter Speed Shop is also sponsored by Minnesota Motorsports. So if you need snowmobile repairs or a complete race sled build or anything in between, get a hold of Chet. We really appreciate your sponsorship, guys. Thank you. All right, so huge thanks to our sponsors, Metro Performance Fuels and Minnesota Motorsports. You guys are awesome. Thank you to anybody that's stuck with us this long. Watch this video. You're also awesome. And giant thanks to the patrons. So if you don't know, I run the channel membership off-site on a different app called Patreon. A lot of YouTubers do this. I just do it that way because it's got better terms for me as the creator than doing the membership through YouTube. The patrons get patron-only videos. You get to see all the videos early and ad-free. That all happens over at Patreon. And, you know, of course, there's the patron ride coming up next winter that if you're not a patron, well, you know,
You won't be invited.
you won't be invited.
There you
So,
go.
Right around the corner.
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah,
9 months away.
9 months away. Yep.
Yup.
All right, so huge thanks to anybody that sent us a super thanks. Really appreciate you. And anybody that sent us anything to the P.O. Box or to the PayPal or whatever, we appreciate that too.
Thank you.
And I guess at this point, I'll just say we will see you at the St. Germain Hall of Fame Roundup on Memorial Weekend.
See you on the trails.